YouTube video. We are at work again, obviously, and we are doing another Storytime video today, which I'm going to call The Case of the Mistaken Teletubby. So, as most of you probably know, I work in a costume shop. And as part of my job, in the month of October, we do something called flyering. So basically, we all put on costumes and we go to the downtown area and we hand out flyers to people that are like going to bars and that kind of thing. So I am usually a mascot because I have mascot training, so you know, you have to use like the big hand gestures and all that kind of stuff. And so we got a group of about 15 of us, I'm gonna say. And so I was the yellow Teletubby, and there was another guy that was the red Teletubby, and we had some other things like princesses and Spider-Man and the Headless Horseman and whatever. We were all different things. We went downtown, and while we were getting dressed, everybody was like, yay, I want to be a princess! Yay, I want to be Spider-Man! Yay, I want to be a raccoon! Whatever. And there was one guy that kind of got dragged along by one of his friends, and he was just not really into it. He was just like, oh, I don't know what I want to be. Blah, blah, blah. And anyways, he ended up being the red Teletubby because he wanted something where his face was covered. So I showed him how to mascot. I'm like, you have to use big hand gestures and be really energetic because people can't see your face, right? You have a mask on, so you have to do it mostly with your hand gestures. And so he was like, okay. And we went downtown and we went to the bar because nobody was at the bar yet, so we just went for a couple, drinks before the real crowds came out because there's no point in doing it if there aren't that many people on the street. So we went in and we were gonna have some beers, but none of us had ID, right? So we were like, all right, what are we gonna do? And One Arm Bob, the one who was our ringleader at that time, he was like, don't worry about it, I'll get us into the bar. So he's talking to the manager and he's just like, go, 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 keep going, keep going. So all these costume people are like going by and the manager's like, I need to, okay, never mind, just don't cause any trouble. Just go in the back, don't cause any trouble. And Bob's like, don't worry about it, we're gonna buy beer, we're gonna give you business. So we went in the back, and I took my head off, and I was like, Bob, you lied to that guy. We're not going to drink any beer because none of us have any wallets because we're in costumes. And he's like, don't even worry about it. I got this. Like 2 minutes later, all these frat boys burst through the door, and they're like, oh my God, Teletubbies, people in costumes, can we take pictures with you? And Bob was like, you can, in fact, take pictures with the Teletubbies if you buy us beer. And they were like, okay. So anyways, we got some beer, and that was all well and good. And then they were like, can we take dirty pictures with the Teletubbies? And Bob was like, you can take dirty pictures of the Teletubbies if you buy us pictures of beer. So at that point, we essentially traded Teletubby porn for booze. And because you're in this big head, you have no idea what's going on around you. And all of a sudden, you were just bent over, or you were this way, and I'm positive there are terrible pictures of me somewhere on the internet doing inappropriate things in a Teletubby costume. So, we had a few beers, and by the time we left, we were a little bit buzzed. And by this time, we were sort of on the patio. In the actual main bar, a crowd had gathered, and there was a live band playing. So, we file back out into the bar, and as soon as we get through the door, the band, stops. Completely stops. And everyone in the bar turns to look at us, and they were like, oh my God, Teletubbies! And everyone in the bar starts going, dance, 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 dance. So I grabbed the other Teletubby, and we did this slow dance all around the bar, and it was utterly fantastic. And everyone at the end, clapped, and we bowed, and then we exited the bar, and that was that. So then we went out on the street, and we're flyering, and we're giving out flyers to people at the bar, and Bob's talking to people, and the Teletubbies aren't talking, obviously, because mascots don't talk. And partway through this, the other Teletubby got really into it. He got really energetic, and I was like, yes! He's had a couple beers, he sees that people are loving this, he's totally getting into it. So, after we handed out about 500 flyers, and we were super tired because this took us a couple hours, we all went back to the parking lot where we'd parked, and I was like, oh, thank God that's over. I took off my Teletubby head, and I look over, and the other Teletubby takes off his head, and it's a different fucking guy than what we left the store with. And I was like, who are you? And he's like, hey, I'm Woody. And I was like, where did you come from? And he's like, oh, I don't know, that other Teletubby guy, he wasn't into it. So we just went down an aisle and traded, and I put on the costume, and here I am. And I was like, what the fuck? So I'd been walking around like holding hands and skipping with this random dude that I didn't even know for like the last 2 hours. So anyways, we were all very blown away by that. I don't know when it happened, but at some point during the night, they traded costumes and it turned into a different guy. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed my crazy Teletubby story of shenanigans. And if you did, please give my video a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm under Madame Absinthe, Madame_Absinthe. Same thing on Twitter if you want to hear me bitch about crazy sewing projects and other random stuff in my life. So please like, please subscribe, and hopefully I will be able to tell you more stories shortly.